Ever wondered how a law firm generates business? Or how to choose the right candidate for your firm? Wanted to know how the legal landscape is changing? What is this legal tech that everyone keeps talking about? And where is the work life balance in today's scenario? I, Anshul Gupta, the co founder of Knight Legal, brings to you Raising the Bar, your very real and candid take into the workings and insights of being in the legal business in the post-COVID world of 2021. In this podcast, I reach out to my colleagues in the legal fraternity to talk about all the questions you as a lawyer may ponder upon. A nation is made of its people. Amongst them are people who dedicate their lives in helping others and empowering those in need with the laws and rights inscribed in our Constitution. It is such people who choose to use their knowledge as a lawyer to ensure that the right legal counsel is given to anyone who needs it. In this episode, we talk to Shri Kanwaljeet Arora, Member Secretary, DSLSA, and Nabeela Wali, Secretary, DSLSA Sub, who will enlighten us on what life in the public service is for a lawyer or a judge, how the various schemes and initiatives are working little by little to impact and help every strata of our society find the voice against any injustice they are facing. This is a topic that is very close to my heart, and I'm excited to welcome you. So, welcome to Raising the Bar. It's a pleasure to have you both here, and thank you so much for giving your time today. Me and the team were actually looking at creating the draft for the script. We actually hit a realization that the work that DLSA does is actually quite instrumental and crucial to the legal system. So, sir, my first question, to start this podcast is, what exactly is legal aid and who exactly is entitled to it?
Thank you, Anshul. Thank you for having us on this program. And through you, I just want to make everyone aware that with legal aid, we must not understand that it is just connected with the court system, that whosoever has a case pending against him or her, or whosoever wants to file a case before a court of law is entitled for legal aid, and that is what we are giving. It is not like that. Legal aid includes so many other strategic exercises and schemes. And apart from providing legal aid and assistance to all those persons who are entitled for it, we are having number of programs which are legal awareness programs, because what I feel is that unless and until a person is aware of this system, the state machinery, about his rights, he will not be in a position to assert that. So in order to make people aware that what their rights are, we are making certain outreach programs. We are doing outreach programs. We are creating awareness amongst masses, awareness amongst students, college students, school students, so that each and every person, what I feel, is connected with 10, 20 persons. So through all those persons whom we interact with, they in turn tell other persons about his or her rights, and we provide that legal assistance, that strategic exercises. There are certain government schemes also. The benefit of those government schemes have to reach the potential beneficiaries. So we are just making those potential beneficiaries also aware about their rights, and we are doing our bit, doing our exercise, so that the benefit of those particular scheme reaches those potential beneficiaries.
Got it. Very interesting. So, sir, following up on that exact question, is this only for Indian citizens, or does it get extended to visa holders, tourists?
Anshul, it is every person. Every person includes all those persons who are visa holders, who are not just Indian citizens, who at present are on our land through visa, or they are expatriates and they are married to an Indian citizen. All those persons are entitled for free legal aid. If you see Article 21 of our Constitution, it does not talk only about Indian citizens. It says that all persons are equal before law. And similarly, as legal aid and assistance, free legal aid and assistance has been taken up, the bar has been raised, and Honorable Supreme Court through several interpretations has said that this is equivalent to fundamental right. Each and every person has a right to free legal aid and assistance. And as you have asked, all those persons who are visa holders, all those persons who are expatriates but married to Indian citizens, they all, including Indian citizens, are entitled for free legal aid and assistance.
Got it. Interesting. So I think, the question to begin with here, and a lot of our listeners would actually want to know is, what is the role and work of DLSA? What really, is the focus area for you?
Very good, Anshul. This definitely is a very good question, that unless and until people know that what sort of activities we do or what exercise or what reliefs we are providing to citizens, they probably might not be in a position to avail all those benefits from our authority. But before that, I would just like to tell, for the benefit of all the listeners, that who all are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. Our authority, that is Delhi State Legal Service Authority, and for that matter, all legal services authorities, they came into existence by virtue of Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. And this act, in its section 12, talks about various categories wherein it is depicted that who all are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. And it includes all women irrespective of their financial income. They are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. All children who are below 18 years of age, all persons belonging to scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, all persons who are arrested by any law enforcement agencies, they are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. An industrial workman is entitled for free legal aid and assistance. A person who is having income less than 3 lakhs per annum is entitled for free legal aid and assistance. All senior citizens and transgenders who are having income less than 4 lakhs, they are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. All persons who are suffering with HIV, they are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. So in all, if we count, almost 85 to 90% of our population, they are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. Now coming to what our authority does. Our authority, apart from, as I said, providing legal panel lawyers to all those persons who have either the cases pending against them, they have to defend those cases, or they have to file a case before a court of law for the purposes of redressal of his or her grievances. Apart from that, there are so many other exercises, like the most important being the victim compensation. The crimes which are taking place in our society, there is a need which was felt that the victims of those crimes, they need to be rehabilitated. They have to be brought back into the mainstream, because at times such social stigmas, they are attached to the crimes, to the victims, despite the fact that they have absolutely no role to play. They are not perpetrator of the crime. The victims need to be seen in such an angle, in such a way that there is a need that they should be brought back to the mainstream, and there is a need to compensate all those victims. So our authority provides victim compensation, and then our authority holds lok adalats from time to time, so that the pendency of the courts should reduce and the people at large should get easier justice, early justice, and at a lesser cost. And apart from that, there are so many various schemes floated by the government from time to time with respect to different class and category of persons. So to make all those persons aware of the benefit of all those schemes, and also to help them to get registered on the government portals with different government departments for the purposes of filing their applications to get all those benefits, it is again the obligation of our authority. And we do create awareness. We do hold camps at regular intervals at different places for different class and category of persons. We cater to construction workers, we cater to sex workers, we cater to senior citizens, children, women, and we address all those issues and identify these target groups and address their issues, whether it relates to the court-based system or with any government agency or department.
Got it. I think that's a very well put detailing about, what the organization does. And I think, one point that you picked up where there is so much stigma towards the victim, and that becomes a huge challenge for the entire legal system together. So I think, so that's a very well point put. I think, picking up further, I think what would be interesting to know, what type of situations, crimes, or victims can really ask for legal aid, or, if you could give us some examples.
Anshul, that is a wonderful question. You have asked that what sort of, I say that anything which has happened to a person which is a crime and that person sees that his right has been wronged by someone, then to get that righted, a petition is to be filed before a court of law, or in case somebody has committed some offense with somebody, FIR is to be lodged, and if police is not registering the FIR, the person can come to our authority. We initially we provide panel lawyer to that person who initially tries to get FIR registered, and in case police fails to register FIR, then a complaint is filed for that person, that complainant, before a court of law, before the court of metropolitan magistrate, and through the orders of the court, the FIR gets registered. Otherwise, in case some civil wrong has been done to somebody, that person can come to us. So any class or category of person, be it a workman if he is not getting his wages from the management, be it a tenant who has been wrongly evicted, or his landlord is evicting that person wrongfully, he or she can come to us. Similarly, landlord also can come to our authority. Cases of domestic violence, we have seen that during the period of this lockdown and during the period of this pandemic, cases of domestic violence, they had increased. And then we have approached, instead of waiting for all those persons, all those victims of domestic violence, even we approached them and we tried to telecounsel them first, and thereafter, in case need was felt, we filed petitions for all these victims of domestic violence before the court of law and got them the necessary orders.
Got it. So, picking up a very specific situation, if a person is in jail, what type of legal aid is offered to them, and how can they take the help of an organization to, achieve justice?
Anshul, that is again a wonderful question. See, in Delhi, we have in all 16 jails. They are located at 3 places. One is at Tihar, jail number 1 to 9, they are at Tihar. Jail number 10 is at Rohini. And from jail number 11 to 16 are located at Mandoli jail complex. So in all these 16 jails, we have our legal services clinics in all the 16 jails. And in all these legal services clinics, we send our jail visiting lawyers. They regularly visit all these jails on daily basis from 3 to 7. Apart from that, in all these jails, we have our paralegal volunteers. So we provide training to the jail inmates, long-serving jail inmates, so that they can interact with other jail inmates and apprise them that there is an authority. And in case you want to file any petition, you want to have your case defended, then legal services authority is there to take care, because all the jail inmates, irrespective of their income, they are entitled for free legal aid and assistance. So that is why we are having legal services clinics inside all these 16 jail complexes in Delhi.
Got it. So, sir, I'm sure you've been dealing with various types of situations. So have you ever come across or would like to talk about a situation where, you were faced with a heinous crime? And I think more importantly for me to really understand is, how do you really manage your emotions dealing with such, variety of crimes? So would love to hear about that.
Anshul, see, I am a judicial officer. I have already completed, 29 years of my service, and during this tenure, I have held various criminal proceedings, criminal courts, and dealt with, hardened criminals and those who were involved in heinous offences. See, for us, that is a crime, that is a case, but so far as the circumstances, we do take into consideration the circumstances under which that particular offense has taken place. But all those things we do take care at the time of evaluating the evidence which has been brought on record by the prosecution. So all those circumstances in which the offense has taken place, that is evaluated for the purposes of evaluation of the evidence and for the purposes of arriving at the conclusion that whether the offense has been committed by the person who has been put to trial or not. And once that is done, and if that person is convicted, then there are certain which we call as mitigating circumstances, the circumstances under which the offense has taken place. There are cases where crime is committed in cold blood, and there are circumstances where by chance or in a spur of moment, in a heat of moment, a crime is committed. Otherwise, that person is not a habitual criminal. So all these things are taken into consideration while deciding the case and also while awarding the sentence to that criminal. So far as legal aid and assistance is concerned, free legal aid and assistance is concerned, that being a fundamental right that is provided by us, irrespective of the fact we do not go into the nitty-gritties or the factual aspects of that particular case, because no one can be condemned unheard as per law. So a person has to be provided with legal assistance whatsoever sort of offense he or she might have committed.
Got it. I think, it's very important, like you mentioned, that there is no space for emotions, only evidence. So,
Yes.
so I think, thank you so much for that. So Miss Nabeela, coming to you, would love to hear your thoughts about how does the organization really protect the rights of the victims? What are the typical challenges that you face in this scenario?
Yes, thank you, Anshul. See, the role of Delhi State Legal Service Authority in protecting the right of victim begins from the very stage a victim walks into a police station. We have our on-call advocates available in all police stations of Delhi who provide legal advice, legal assistance, not just to accused but also to victims of offences. Also, apart from that, there was a judgment of the Honorable High Court of Delhi, thereafter which Delhi State Legal Service Authority launched a project called Sampark, under which we have our impaneled lawyers, our legal aid counsels as we call them, who visit as soon as we receive an FIR in every district office, as soon as we receive an FIR which informs us about the commission of an offence with a particular victim. We sent our legal aid counsels to them to contact these persons. They offer counseling to these victims. They also inform these victims about the services provided by the District Legal Service Authority, about legal assistance that we aim to provide them, the financial assistance which is available to them under the Victim Compensation Scheme, as well as we also inquire if they require any medical assistance. Thirdly, as sir had also mentioned, that we have a scheme called the Delhi Victim Compensation Scheme, wherein victims of crime are given due compensation. So the Delhi Victim Compensation Scheme is divided into two parts. The first part is gender neutral and applies to all victims of crimes. Part 2 is specific to women victims, to victims of sexual assault, and to acid attack victims. So under part 2, a victim may approach any district legal service authority with an application for awarding interim compensation or even final compensation. And in also most cases, we receive recommendation from courts to award compensation to victims.
Got it. Very interesting. So, Miss Nabeela, continuing with you, personally for you, what type of a situation is perhaps the most difficult to deal with, right? Is it domestic abuse, child abuse? And, following up on that question would be, what are the typical challenges you see why victims do not come forward? And do you see a trend in that case?
Right, Anshul. See, Anshul, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, be it cases of child abuse, be it cases of domestic abuse, Delhi State Legal Service Authority is sensitive to all cases equally. And when it comes to standing up for victims, Delhi State Legal Service Authority ensures that we provide competent legal services to all victims of crime. Also, what I see that this problem of people coming forward to speak about crime, it is not a problem of masses, it is it is a problem of masses. People may belong to any social strata of society, but there is a certain inhibition due to societal relationships that we have, and also a certain reluctance to enter into the criminal legal system. It is for this very purpose that Delhi State Legal Service Authority ensures that we reach them in every possible manner we can, be it through our helpline numbers, be it through our apps, through our outreach programs, and even through our front offices, only to make it most convenient for a victim of a crime to come forward and to share or to report their incidents with us. And even if we get to know about any crime or any offense being committed by anyone upon anyone, we do try to get in coordination with other agencies, be it the police or any other agency, and try to confirm the facts, and then also render legal assistance to them so that they can enter the criminal justice system.
Got it. So, sir, coming back to you, you mentioned earlier that the case of domestic abuse suddenly increased during the pandemic. So, what were the challenges you faced? Because, interfacing with the victims, looking at the scenarios became even more challenging because you couldn't really go physically. So, how did the organization circumvent around that? What were the challenges you faced?
Definitely, Anshul. Last 1.5 years, we all know that we are being faced by this pandemic, which was unprecedented. And during this particular period, we did face all these challenges. When victims of say, domestic violence, they were not in a position to approach our authority either to our front offices or to our offices, which are located in different court complexes. So we thought, we devised and we changed our way of functioning. So during this particular period, that lockdown period, we found that only the chemist shops and mother dairy booths, they were operational. So we tied up with all the chemist shops as well as mother dairy booths, and with their assistance, with assistance of Anganwadi workers, we reached out to those victims of domestic violence because they were located in that very area. In their areas, Anganwadi workers, they were aware that where are these potential domestic violence victims. And during this lockdown period, because of say loss of income and all that, frustration that crept amongst people. And that frustration, we all know that it leads to, or it is vented by all the persons on the marginalized or the vulnerable group, and women and children being the most vulnerable. So that is why we saw a surge in domestic violence cases. And it is only during that particular period that we came up with an give a call to us through this app. You can approach us, and the moment the complaint reaches us, we also created a number on which even a missed call can be given to our authority. And the moment we received the missed call or information through our Vidhik Seva app, we reached out to all those victims at their doorstep. So instead of waiting for them to come to our authority, we reached out to them at their doorstep and provided the necessary relief to all those victims by filing their cases before the court of law under the Domestic Violence Act and got them the requisite orders.
Great. So I think that was, quite astonishing because for me, being outside of this area, I always wondered, when so many domestic cases are rising, how exactly are people, voicing, their problems, etc. So, very happy to hear that the organization was so active in reaching out to them. So, Ms. Nabeela, coming back to you, just wanted to quickly understand from you, what's the process to reach out to your organization? So, for example, if a maid is a victim, how does she really reach out, and what's the typical process?
Yes. See, Anshul, the objective of Delhi State Legal Service Authority and of all legal service authorities is to ensure access to justice for all, as we also call it in Hindi, Nyay Sabke Liye. So one way of doing it is, of course, by way of our outreach programs. All district legal service authority in their respective districts, we organize these outreach programs in all slums and villages, in all areas, about our Vidhik Seva app, as we told you, about the existence of our front offices. Our front offices are there in all court complexes. So Delhi is covered under 11 judicial districts, and we have 6 court complexes wherein we have front offices of all district legal service authority. A victim, she may walk in, he or she may walk into our office directly. There is a front office advocate who is there to assist the victim, to hear the victim. We listen to the victim, we understand the grievance, and then accordingly we assign a competent legal aid counsel to the victim as per the facts of the case. Secondly, the victim may not be in a position to walk up to our office. There is our helpline number 1516. It is operated 24/7. A victim may call up any time of the day. There is another person who's manning the helpline number who will provide you effective service to the caller. Also, there is this Vidhik Seva app, as mentioned. Since we all use our mobile phones now, they're always with us. So I think this is one most effective manner of reaching our authorities now. We're all so used to, we've all shifted digitally to this digital app, and it is a very easy, the filling of the form is very easy. We have options provided. You just need to select the right option, and then that request is directed to the concerned district authority, and then we receive an email email, and we accordingly we reach out to the victim and we assign. So these are the methods. Also, very recently, we also coordinate with other agencies. So very recently, we started this initiative with post offices, wherein victims can simply walk up to post offices, and there is a legal aid form which is provided there in all post offices. They can, if they would want to, they can just send us whatever assistance they require. They can send us that by post, and when it reaches our office, we will reach out to them. So Delhi State Legal Service Authority, we try to keep on finding out new ways to reach out to people, so that we are available for them any moment whenever they require in providing competent legal services.
Got it. So, sir, you've been in the legal industry for so long, looked at various situations. What are the 3 top challenges you feel that the community faces in achieving legal aid?
Anshul, we are all aware, as I earlier mentioned, that unless and until we are aware of our rights, we would not be in a position to assert all those rights either in a court of law or with any government department. So the biggest challenge which we face is for creating awareness. And for this, we are, doing so many exercises. We are reaching out in the community. We are going to the colleges. We have even, gone to social media platforms, and we have gone to metro also. In the metro, what I feel is Delhi has so many persons using this metro train. And we have gone to metro and we have advertised about our authority. All those persons who are entitled for free legal aid and assistance, all those facts have been mentioned on all those advertisements, which are there in metro trains, at metro platforms, inside metro train also, and train wrapping was also done by our authority. And apart from that, we are trying to make certain animation movies. So through them, we try to reach out to all those persons. So that is the biggest hurdle which we face, that unless and until we make people aware about their rights, they would not be in a position to reach out to us. So that is the one challenging area which I feel, and we are trying to overcome that. And recently, I must tell you that we are celebrating 75 years of our independence, and we are also celebrating simultaneously 25 years of our inception, that is inception of Legal Service Authority and Delhi State Legal Service Authority. And to celebrate this, NALSA, which is the apex body, that is National Legal Service Authority, its executive chairperson, Honorable Mr. Justice UU Lalit, he conceptualized that vigorous campaign is required to be done so as to make people aware on pan-India basis. So from 2nd of October, we have started this 45 days vigorous campaign, which will last on 14th of November. So the object and purpose of this campaign is that we have to reach out to every nook and corner of our country. So for Delhi, the responsibility is on our authority. And I must tell you that I have a dedicated team of my secretaries. Nabeela is one of them. So all of them, we are working hard that during this 45 days, we should reach out to each and every person of Delhi, in each and every village. We should tell them not about their rights, but also about the available state machinery, which is there, as Nabeela has rightly said, that we are there to assist them in whatever way. And that is why we are daily devising newer ways, newer methods to reach out to all those persons who themselves are not in a position to reach out to us. So that is the biggest challenge which I think we face, and we are trying to overcome that also.
I hope this talk today has enlightened all our listeners in some way. It is said that every profession has a humanitarian impact to it, and DSLSA is one such aspect of the legal system in India. Thank you for joining us today and hearing Shri Kanwaljeet and Ms. Nabeela Wali about the impact DSLSA is making in our society. I look forward to our next episode with Sameer Davar on what it takes to practice as an independent lawyer. And this is for all the first-year associates or students out there. Till then, follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter, and for regular updates at Mike Legal. Thank you.